I am the new chair, huh? All right, so first order of business is a roll call. Brian McManus, civil chair here.
Josh Wilson, chair or commissioner, vice commissioner, getting
Larry
used to
Mitchell,
the new
commissioner.
term.
Yeah,
Jeff Young, Deputy Chief.
And Julie Good, Chief Examiner Secretary.
Excellent.
excellent. So we're all here. All right, I think the first order of business is to review and approve the minutes from 1/5's meeting. Did everybody get a chance to take a look at those?
I
Yep.
did.
All right, can I get a motion to accept them?
I make a motion, we accept them as written.
I second.
Excellent, excellent. Second order of business was for the new candidates, the list of the new candidates. Entry level, if I'm reading that right, entry level candidates. I had a chance to review. Didn't look like there were any changes, maybe one addition, Chief.
I think there's two.
Was there 2 additions? Maybe I looked it wrong.
3.
Okay,
Three?
yeah, three.
Mm,
Well, good thing you're here, Julie. One of us knows what's going on, huh?
Keeps us moving.
The easy way to notice them is on the date certified column. Look for today's date.
Oh, okay, there we go. I see it
Yeah.
now.
That's the secret.
Okay.
That's awesome. 3 more candidates in less than a week. That's fantastic. All right, unless anybody has any corrections, can I get a motion to accept the list?
Well, I'd just like to ask Julie or the chief, anything we should know about these? There's additions on the list or anything?
He hasn't seen them yet. He
Not
wants to see
now.
them after you certified, but no, we're just excited to have more folks on the list for the
Yep.
chief to consider.
Yeah, and I'll review them as soon as Julie can upload them into our system.
And I'll do that right after the meeting.
All right, that being said, can we get a motion to certify the list?
yeah, I'll make a motion to certify the list.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you, appreciate it, Ray. Thanks, Josh. Okay, next one is to review and certify the lateral candidate list. I don't think there's any changes on that one, is there, Julie?
Just one
There's
addition.
one.
Just
At
one
number-
additional, wow, okay, great. And you guys are crushing it, good job.
I'm guessing we
Alright.
don't have any word on that one yet either, right?
I
Yeah,
actually spoke with this particular gentleman last week. He is a lateral from a King County agency. I think I may have mentioned him in our
oh, I
last.
think you did.
Yeah, and so I actually spoke with him on Friday, because he had originally asked to come on a ride along to just kind of explore our agency and see if it would be a fit for him. By the end of our conversation, he said he was going to apply, and then he did apply later that day. So I had communicated with Julie saying, hey, this guy applied, can you please pull him and get him on our list for this week? So we'll be reaching out to him a little bit later. I've got to run back to our supervisors meeting here. But as soon as we get done with that, then I'm going to be sending him the personal history statement and the background waiver, so we can get started on him right away.
Wow, great work. You keep that up, Chief. I'm gonna hire you for my sales team at Amazon.
I'm open to work, sir.
There you go. Great job. Okay, unless anybody has any changes, can I get a motion to certify the lateral candidate list?
I'll make a motion, we accept it.
Now I'll second it.
Fantastic. All right, next up we had was just a quick staffing update. I don't know, Julie or Chief, you want to take that one?
So we have one candidate that has completed his background. We got that back and we have pushed him into the final phases, which would be scheduling him for the psych and the medical. Julie does have him scheduled for the medical. And then I'm hoping we can get him on board by, if all goes well, I'm thinking February 16th. Because that gives us, that will give us a little bit of buffer time so that we can get uniforms or, get them cleared through both psych and med. And, hopefully we won't have to extend beyond February 16th, but so let's be really conservative here and say hopefully February 16th, but maybe March 1st, just because that's where the pay cycles work. And he'll go right into field training. And if we can hopefully get this other candidate through the process too, because he's been in communication. I said, we're at Civil Service Commission today, so we're gonna get that list certified. And once that's done, I'll get you this stuff. He's already said, I'll have those other things back to you by Monday. And I'm thinking, That's outstanding. 'Cause then
That
we-
is, that's
we-
the one we're looking
excellent.
for right there, right? There's the prototype. Perfect.
How long is the field training?
So for a lateral, it's variable because if we've got, like the candidate we're talking about trying to get hired or get on board either, the 16th or March 1st. He's a local officer, so he could be 8 to 12 weeks. It just depends. With Joshua Tannen, when he came on, I think he was right about 15. Because there were just some things, there were some nuances from his previous agency that he needed to spin up on.
Yeah.
So-
So there were the field training officer doing this, correct?
Mhm.
During this time?
Yeah. Yeah, they're doing all the report writing contacts. So again, it's a little bit different from the entry level officer because we
Right.
have to start them off, okay, big steps and work through some stuff. So and that program is about 16 weeks.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm of the mindset, take as much time as you need to give them everything they need to be successful, right? So that's good that there's fluctuation in there. if
Yeah.
need be. Yeah,
And Sergeant Barnes and I are gonna be completely revamping our field training program. And we're gonna have a very focused and detailed program to where, okay, here's when we're doing these particular things, like with our entry level candidates, we just had one officer come back from Leah. And we found out, okay, we need to make sure he's qualified on his weapon. Then we gotta, go over some different force response options and that kind of thing. We are also contemplating getting with some of our other partner agencies and getting a post academy set up as well, so that say Marysville or Everett or somebody, they have recruits coming out of the academy at the same time, we can combine our resources and get a post academy so that we are sure that they're qualified. They're at least trained on the EVOC to the extent that we want them to be.
Right.
What we have to remember too is, much like the military, basic training, that's really what it is. So we have to do some of that other advanced stuff as well.
we
So-
gotta get them all Lake Stevens
Yeah.
up. Get them all Lake Stevens up, right? That's what we gotta do.
That's right.
You sound optimistic.
I'm very optimistic right now, and we're hoping that we can start getting a few more laterals to apply over as well.
That's great. So Chief, you brought up the 4-letter word, Belia. Have you guys had any more progress on vetting out, maybe doing a local academy with, Sheriff's Department, other agencies?
We're still working on that. That was very fresh information that I shared with y'all last week. We're still in that very initial phase of getting that done.
Yeah, I think that'd be great if you can pull it off.
Have we considered the implementation of, say, the utilization of mental health resources in collaboration with our officers? Have we looked at that as far as the
For
development of,
For
for wellness checks and collaboration in that regard?
Yes, we have. And right now we are completing our strategic policing plan for 23-25, and that is one of our top priorities. So we have looked at a number of different things there. We are looking at having some sort of a counselor available for our officers, plus WASPIC, the Washington Association of Sheriffs and Police Chiefs, is pushing out the Cortico app. So it'll be available on all of our officer phones, and they'll be able to access some sort of person to at least talk to immediately, and it's 24/7. We are also looking at implementing a coaching program. So if our officer need to talk to a coach or somebody that's been through a lot of different things, they'll have that at their disposal as well.
Thank you.
Well, Chief, I remember several months ago in our neighborhood, the police responded to a call. And I think it was Josh Kilroy came there, and his vehicle had on the side like mental health assist or something like that. And he had a lady that was riding with him.
Mhm.
And does this make sense? So do they respond to mental health issues or?
So we did have a person working with us through a countywide program.
Oh,
And we do have another program that we're working with now called LEAD, the Law Enforcement Assisted Diversion. So we do have some other resources, and we've also brought on bridge coordination services for our DV advocates. So we do have some of those things.
but that was just a temporary program or
Yeah,
something?
we haven't done much with that program. And part of it was that we're sharing resources. So when they're working in Marysville or working in another agency, I think that employee was only over here one day
Oh,
a week, if that.
Mhm.
So I mean, there's a whole lot of other things that we're looking at right now too.
There's a lot of pieces to that.
Yeah, my curiosity is if we have enough calls to warrant, someone more mental health specialized within the team. I was just curious if that would be something that there's been enough of a need for, that perhaps we can talk with, with the city council about. But you know your metrics far better than I do. So I was just kind of touching base to hear what your thoughts were.
I think we could benefit from having some sort of an embedded mental health professional. But I think we probably would want to look at it from the perspective of sharing with another agency, maybe Arlington or Monroe. So that way they could have that balanced out, because I did explore this with Mukilteo about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, maybe. We did explore that cost sharing, so that there would be 20 hours with one agency, 20 hours with another. And then if there was a specific need that each agency had, we could borrow from each other, basically. Oh, you need them over there 3 days this week or whatever, no problem. So that could be something that we explore in the future. That way we have that resource. But to your original question with the officer wellness and having the availability of that, and not just our officers, but also our non-commissioned staff, we have to be very holistic in providing those services and resources to everyone. So that is a part of our plan, is to have it available to our entire staff.
now I know we have some officers that are trained in hostage negotiations and that sort of stuff. Do we also have officers that are trained in mental health issues and that?
We are all trained in crisis intervention.
Okay.
And so that is one of the mandatory classes that we have to go through every 2 years.
Oh, okay.
So right now we're up for the crisis intervention recertification, I guess. So yeah, we are all trained in some regard. I mean, we're by no means experts, but we are able to go, oh, you know what? That person's in some sort of distress or crisis, and we know what resources to apply.
Yeah, almost like a
Excellent.
field medic, right, Chief? Just get them to the point where they're stabilized and get them to who they need. So yeah,
Exactly.
that's great. It's good to see that we're keeping an eye. And that was a great question, Josh. Good job. I think next what we have is new business. I had one item in new business I wanted to bring up, Chief. I've been dealing with some of the high school counselors. They're trying to find me an intern, maybe a student intern that needs to get some time in that's a high-end videography, that's taking the coursework right now, to maybe help do the video like we had talked about as a team, to maybe highlight the department for a recruiting video.
That would be outstanding.
Yeah, I haven't identified the candidate yet. I had a lot of interest. Actually went up and met with a couple kids today. So hopefully we'll get an answer back here in the next week or two and get moving on that, what that looks like.
Outstanding.
Yeah, always better than you do it yourself, right? You kind of meter it that way, the way you want it. So, but that was the only new business I had. Does anybody else have any new business to discuss?
No.
No.
Right, all right. Well, I think we are done. Yeah, Julie, unless I missed something.
Sounds good.
All right, can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
And I'll second.
Fantastic. All right, thanks, everybody. Thanks, Julie.
You bet.
Thank you.
Good seeing you.
Thank
guys.
you.
Care, guys.
You'll have a great day.
You too, thanks.
Well, I don't have to sign anything anymore.